Hello guys, today we're at the box office here, and this is in a very fast week at the box office. Again, the summer weekend, of course, as usual, slowing down, and we're probably gonna see a summer weekend on par of 2017's abysmal summer weekend. Abysmal August is gonna be the name, similar to 2017's August weekends. Even 2021 had a better August than 2017. Okay, and I think the same thing could apply of I think it was like 2016, something like that. Yeah, but because they don't want, because companies don't want to release movies for some reason in August. They typically try to avoid August, which I don't know why they do. Not because I think they should try to stuff movies in August as well, but they typically try to stuff all the weeks in July, and then we put the biggest movies in June, and then of course you usually have like your one box office failure and your huge massive box office successes. But here we go with the sales of the movies. So number one movie of the week is Nope. Yep, Nope. That is the number one movie of the week, and this movie needs to make at least around $170 million to break even. So this means this movie's in the red by like 130 million. So this movie's gonna have to have extremely good domestic legs and have to have a decent showing internationally to break even. Okay, if this movie does not release internationally, then it's not gonna make any money or has a poor showing internationally. Because the problem with a lot of these movies is that they have good showings domestically, but no one watches them outside of America. Nobody watches these movies outside of America because of course they're not about a franchise, so they're not gonna watch them. But Nope has made $44 million at the box office. Yeah, I did the math, and Nope is currently at a negative $126 million worldwide. So this movie's at negative $126 million. Of course, there might be international sales later this week, but Universal usually updates the international sales really easily. So that means this movie has not opened internationally yet, or has extremely poor showing they don't even update. Next is Fall of Thunder. Yep, this movie is dropping. Okay, like a rock. Okay, this movie opened to $350 million. Second weekend, it made $500 million. Okay. No, the first weekend made $300 million. They made nearly $500 million. Then it dropped by another 100% million. This movie is gonna probably make money at the end of the day, and we have the updated numbers now here. Fall of Thunder, yes, the movie is gonna make money at the end of the day. Sadly, it will, despite because again, the international showing is pretty strong still. But I think even with the international sales, this movie's still not gonna be as successful as Doctor Strange or other movies. It's never gonna be successful as Minions or Rise of Gru, which we haven't even updated that movie yet. And this movie's probably gonna end up below Minions or Rise of Gru worldwide as well. So yep, that's another failure for Disney. I think yes, Disney will make money on this movie. That's like The Rise of Skywalker made money for Disney, but this would be a warning side for Disney and Marvel. Okay, they did this. Doctor Strange was profitable, I think, by week two. Okay, because of course it did $500 million. It was profitable by the first weekend, but this movie wasn't profitable until the second week. Until it's not even profitable on the third weekend. Okay, this movie is still in the negative sales. Okay, as well, and of course now we have DC League of Super Pets, whatever that crap is coming out next week, and Bullet Train, which I think will probably be a surprise hit because of course people are not expecting it to be a hit because it's a non-franchise movie, and people don't care about it because it's a non-franchise movie. So yep, Fall of Thunder not really doing too well at the box office. Okay, I'm back. I finished the rest of the numbers. So yeah, we'll get to the numbers. So Million Wiser grew again. This movie will probably not make $1 billion, judging based off how the numbers are going. It is picking up internationally, but this movie is gonna make a ton of money domestically and internationally. This movie is already, of course, it's beating White Yale by a massive margin. It's beating White Yale by 2 times the money. And this movie has a smaller budget. Even if it performed like White Yale, it will probably still made way more money than White Yale has in its entire lifetime. Okay, but this movie has made $640 million worldwide. And its budget is $80 million, which of course it needs to make around $210 million to break even. Which means this movie is making way more money than 4 did. Gonna probably make more money than Doctor Strange, which are not tracking that movie anymore. Same with The Bad Guys. It is probably gonna be the highest grossing animated feature of the year. Not Strange World, which is already drawing criticism for it having a gay couple in the movie. Yep, that movie had the gay couple in the movie. If you did not know that, but yep, Minions: The Rise of Gru again made $640 million. So we've already seen a difference. Okay, and sales, Disney is completely failing, and other companies are not. Disney, despite them having a monopoly over the most popular IPs and basically having a clear monopoly over movies, well, Disney is not doing too well. Foreign Thunder is still in the red at the current moment, and Lightyear is going to lose $200 million plus, which is something they expected Alita to lose. And Alita only lost $20 million, was it made up for in the Blu-ray sales. So, as well in digital copies and streaming deals. Same thing with other movies as well. But, the Crawdads Sing, again, no one is watching. This movie isn't really doing too well. But it is a smaller, lower budget movie, which means this movie is gonna make more money. Well, the Crawdads Sing is currently, at this current moment, gonna make more money than 4. Yep, it's gonna lose less money than 4. And this movie needs to make $60 million worldwide to break even too. So this movie is probably gonna make money, despite no one. If we compare it to the big blockbuster movies, no one is basically watching while the Crawdads Sing. Okay, the Crawdads Sing is not really making too much money. Also, you have Positive Fury here, which is making abysmal amounts of money worldwide. This movie is making abysmal amounts of money. And we're going to get to Positive Furies in a minute. But yeah, the Crawdads Sing is actually at least having decent ratings at the box office, which shows that people, at least a sort of small subset of people, are willing to still go see these non-franchise movies. And, despite the inflation and all the problems this current administration is giving us. Next is Top Gun. This movie is, I think, probably in the top 10 movies of all time. Which means there's a huge chance this is going to be the highest grossing movie of the entire year. Okay, this movie has made $2.82 billion worldwide. It's beat the horrible Incredibles 2. It beat Beauty and the Beast, another bad movie. And we're talking about the remake of Beauty and the Beast as well. It beat that movie. And it beat The Last Jedi in America. And it'll probably beat The Last Jedi worldwide. Complete garbage movie, but it beat The Last Jedi. It beat that movie. Complete garbage movie. It beat The Avengers. It could probably beat Jurassic World as well. And also, it also has not beaten Titanic's domestic gross yet, because of course they released Titanic in 2012 and made $200 million and worldwide. It made $300 to $400 million worldwide because of China. Because Epcot made a lot of money in China. It made a lot of money from the CCP. But then we have Doctor Strange. Jurassic World is performing like the Batman. Yep, it's performing like the Batman. Basically, it's still a huge chunk of money it's making. It's still making a huge, massive chunk of money making worldwide. This movie is still making a huge, massive chunk of money worldwide. And Universal, I think, will be happy even though it didn't make $1 billion. And it is the end of the Jurassic World franchise. Not the end of the Jurassic series, but the end of the Jurassic World trilogy. It's the end of the trilogy of the Jurassic Park series. World trilogy. It's the end of Jurassic World trilogy. So yeah, I wonder where they'll go from there, because there are still probably a lot of stories to be told in that universe. But yeah, Top Gun has made a lot more money than people expected. And of course, Rupa is a complete, horrible sight. Nobody likes Rupa. Elvis. Okay, this movie is gonna make money. Okay, they said this movie would flop. They said that no one would watch this movie, but this movie is gonna make money. Unlike Lightyear. Okay, which means this is yet another non-franchise movie, yet a non-Disney movie, a non-franchise, non-Disney movie making money. Okay, and it is releasing video on HBO Max, but this movie is having extremely good ratings in the theaters. I think it'll continue having extremely good ratings for the next month. So Elvis, again, making a lot of money, despite being not really a higher profile movie. Next is Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. No one wanted this movie, and it's a box office failure. A box office flop. Okay, this movie this is basically Paramount's flop of the year. Again, it's 104. It's 40. I put its budget as 40 million, but either way, the budget is 45 million or 40 million. This movie is a box office failure, a box office flop, a box office bomb. Okay, this movie has not released in any international sale markets at all. Again, Paramount is very, very slow when it comes to updating the international sales, but Resident of Hank is not really doing too well at the box office. Next is The Black Phone. Again, a movie that has had pretty decent wigs at the box office and had pretty decent wigs worldwide. This movie has made $140 million worldwide, which is pretty good. Again, non-franchise movie making money. Again, it's a horror movie, so it doesn't really need make that much money to make money. But you then have these people like Emmerich spend $200 million on, Moonfall, and then completely bombs and lose hundreds of millions of dollars, which makes studios not take risks for companies because of idiots like Roland Emmerich making complete trash movies that no one wants to see. But Black Phone, again, this is why they keep making horror movies, because these movies make money. That's the reason why they keep releasing all these horror movies, especially these non-franchise horror movies, because they're profitable. This movie has made at least like $70 to $80 million, $90 million for Universal alone. So this movie has made $90 million for Universal, which will probably cause companies to go back to just making a bunch of horror movies that will have like $20 million budgets, and then they'll make hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide. Basically, yeah, next is Jurassic World. This movie is sadly not going to make $1 billion. I wish people would prove these stupid and idiotic critics wrong. And I think actually the critics are expecting this movie to make $1 billion. But this movie, like Doctor Strange, is going to fall short of the $1 billion mark. Again, but the movie still has shown okayest legs for a movie of its kind. But if this movie kept the legs, it would have probably made like $10 million more domestically, basically. But yeah, this movie isn't really well received, even by general audiences. This is probably the reason why this movie has not made $1 billion at the box office. That's probably why, because the movie hasn't really been well received by general audiences. So, yep. And then we have White Yo. Yeah, this movie is losing $200 plus million at the box office. Okay, $200 million plus dollars at the nearly $300 million. This movie's gonna lose at the box office. Okay, and all that for a kiss. Yep, all that so they can put the wokeness in the movie. But I know it's stuff they kiss, and why are we getting irritated by it, but most people don't want to explain the B's and the B's to the kids, which is why no one's watching White Yo. I don't think, Baymax isn't really doing all too well either. So, yeah. That's basically and Baymax is on Disney Plus. So, yeah, that's basically about this video. Goodbye.